listeners. Welcome back to the Reef Review podcast. I just want to start off with saying that last week compared to this week was completely a doozy, and I'm already ready for next week so I can start over. Last week, I told you guys about the snowstorm that happened up here. It really threw off my schedule because I did not leave my apartment until Wednesday, and that was just to go to my friend's house, and we had soup, and then I went to work on Thursday, and then I was back home again on Friday because we worked from home, and then I didn't really go out that weekend as well. So it was literally I only had one outing for real. And I think it just threw off my schedule. I've been doing so good with my homework these past 2 weeks, and I definitely believe everything that happened last week kind of threw it off because I was just going crazy being home, and it was, yeah. But I need to do better this week, but we're already at the end of this week, and I haven't really been doing what I usually do. So it's my school, I'm not doing my school assignments when I want to do my school assignments. I'm waiting till later in the night. I usually do my school assignments around 5, 6, something like that. Or not even. I'll do it around 7 or 8, and I'll go to the gym before 5 or 6. But because of the whole snowstorm, all the ice out there, it's I don't want to be outside. Who wants to be outside? Uh, the good thing is earlier this week the sun was out, and it was actually surprisingly hot, and it wasn't even close to the 70s or 80s. So a good chunk of ice has been melting, so that's good. But then it's also where are the snow plows? This is the perfect time for them to come out and remove more of the ice chunks that are out here in these streets and roads. It makes absolutely no sense. I think I'm not, well, I know I'm not built to live in these conditions. It's not even about, oh my God, it's so cold. It's just how people act. And these past couple of days, I've had a few moments, a few situations where I'm just yelling off the handle. I'm mad at the way people are driving in these conditions. They live here. I don't. You know what I mean? My car say it's from Florida. All these cars say they from actually the DMV area. So it's it's really, 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 really stupid. And then to drive into DC, oh my God, with the government shutdown going on this week, traffic, guys, to get to work has been horrible. So the whole drive is fine, and then I get to the gate, and it's I can't get on base. I'm literally sitting there for 20 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. And it's only one gate because there's no point in me driving all the way down to the gate that's the furthest away from work. It makes absolutely no sense. But enough about that. Let's get started with the show. Today's episode is going to be fairly short. Only because we're talking about Bridgeton, and only 4 episodes of Bridgeton are out right now, and I've only watched 3 of the episodes. I plan on watching the 4th episode Thursday with my friend, since we weren't able to finish it last weekend because your girl fell asleep. I don't know what was up with me, but I was just a bear during hibernation. I was just asleep. I could not open my eyes. But it's gonna be a really short episode because we're gonna talk about the first 3 episodes of Bridgerton without giving away too much. Sophie, I really like Sophie. I think I like Asians to a certain degree, because I'm not K-pop or anything like that, but I do like Asian culture. So to see these Asian characters in in the show in the show was a really nice touch. I love Benedict. Okay, don't get me wrong. I love Anthony. Okay, I do. I love Anthony and Kate especially. I will say that Benedict didn't get the glow up like everybody else did. Like Colin got a glow up last season, Anthony got a glow up his season. Really give them that bachelor look. Um, but I will say that Benedict didn't need it because he was already a sweetheart. He's already so cute. He's the most handsome son, the second son, and I definitely think like Anthony mirrors his dad a lot, while Benedict is like a good combination of both. Benedict's book is called An Offer from a Gentleman. Even though I haven't seen the episode, I've seen some spoilers on TikTok on what the offer was, and it's quite hilarious. I will say that it's quite something because it's like, oh, oh, especially knowing what I know, seeing the first 3 episodes, it's like, oh, okay. It's given his and hers, and let me tell you why. Because a lot of people are calling Jack a bad detective, and Benedict is just. He's not a detective, obviously, but he's just the worst of the worst. Like, Sherlock Holmes is British, so that's like, I'm not saying he should be Sherlock, but it's like, oh my god, like, he wants to find this girl in silver, and he's met her so many times, and simply because I don't know, he's like a really good artist. Like, you see all the pictures he's drawing after he meets her, and it's like, boy, you don't know who this is. Like, it's the whole thing is just like so weird. Sophie's background story, that's also an interesting one. I'm definitely looking forward to the second part to get to know more about Armanetta, whatever her name is, Armani. Because it's like, oh girl, why you got beef with your own stepdaughter? Like, you didn't walk into this marriage with 2 kids. He just had 1 kid, and it's like, oh, because she's illegitimate. That was the word they loved swinging around back then. Illegitimate. You are a bastard. You are illegitimate. you know that's I really want to know more about it. Violet, I definitely want to see how she handles this. I would say Violet and Lady Danbury, but I don't know, since Lady Danbury's on her own quest and wants to take a step back from society. Um, However, she has yet to win the Queen's approval, so I really want to see how that goes. What I like about the storyline between the Queen and Lady Danbury is it's an ode to Queen Charlotte, which was a phenomenal show. It showed their friendship and how they became, these really close friends, and she was a lady in waiting for the Queen, and just her closest confidant, and still is. And I think at first I was just like, oh, lol, like, this is given sorrows, prayers. Like, the Queen is so like, but into further episodes, it's kind of like she's just so lonely. Like, all she has is her friends, all she has is the gossip, because she stays in that castle with her crazy husband, and as much as she loves him, it's like, when he dies, what happens to me? Like, what, it's a very sad and eye-opening storyline, because I do love the friendship between the Queen and Lady Danbury, and so much more before Queen Charlotte had came out. I feel like Queen Charlotte just showed us how much more you could love them. And I did see a video on TikTok. There was a parallel to a scene in Queen Charlotte to a scene in this season, and I just found it so eye-opening, I guess you would say, like that. I think it's really sweet. I love Lady Danbury, and I love the Queen, so hopefully they're able to, like, figure it out. I mean, if the king was well and able, I definitely believe um, she would let Lady Danbury go, because maybe she could go with her or something like that. Because there's something that, like, stuck with me during their conversations was, she said that, like, you want to go without me, like, without me. And it's like, she wants to go with you. She wants you to be happy. She genuinely does. But it's like, without me? Like, why without me? So I think it's just something to really, look into, and I hope their friendship is strong forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and see what happens. Um, Season 4, part 2. I'm not gonna talk on that too much. If you haven't even seen part 1, I'm not gonna throw part 2 at you. I've seen a lot of clips on the good old internet, so we're seeing how that goes. But I think Bridgeton is gonna be really good. I was surprised not to see the Viscount and Viscountess, but I do hope they make an appearance. Penelope and Colin, they look so cute. I Here's the thing about Penelope and Colin. It's like they do and they don't go together. Like it feels forced. Like it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel genuine. And I'm not saying this on the actors because they're really good actors, but something about their relationship. It's like, I do like it more than I liked it in season 3. But it's like, okay, we're just working our way up there, and the hair and makeup department definitely took note of all the things people had to say last year. I definitely said some things as well, because the makeup was more subtle, more clean. It was given season one, season. It was given season one with just a pinch of season 2. So that was like really nice to like bring it back down and not amp it up so much. And that also sucks because it's like season 4 already has been going so good, and the main story, which is Benedict and Sophie, hasn't been buried by the supporting characters. Unlike in season 3 with Penelope and Colin, it was like, that's why I said it felt rushed. It didn't feel genuine because you didn't really get to see or know their story. They divulged from the book quite a bit. When I went and read some of the highlights from the books, they divulged just a bit. And I find it, just a little bothersome because I already see how much love season 4 is getting, and I know season 3 did not get that much love. And it's simply for the fact of like, you have wardrobe with the hair and the makeup, and then like the story just wasn't hitting like it was supposed to be because the side characters had so much more going on. I would be lying if I didn't say I did not pay attention to their story, not because I didn't care, but because it was just like, oh, there was so much going on in the background. Whenever Kate and Anthony came on the screen, I was really like happy because I love them. Season 2 happens to be, my favorite season. I'll always say that. And we'll see what season 4 has to prove. Season 4 might just take, the cake. I like season 1. Don't get me wrong. Season 1 is the blueprint, okay? You can't hate it. It is the blueprint. And they went up from there with season 2, and then for season 3 falls under season 1. It doesn't even fall under season 1 realistically. It just falls under because it's not the best, to me. But I think that kind of sucks. So seeing Colin and Penelope for season 4, it was really nice, and you get to see Penelope as Lady Whistledown and step into her role. I was genuinely curious on how that would go now that everybody knows she's Lady Whistledown. Like, how would this go for her? And in one scene, like, people kind of like bombard her, like, "Oh, it's Lady Whistledown, it's Lady Whistledown, Lady Whistledown. Do you know this? Do you know that?" Like, they're trying to get in her papers. They're trying to become relevant. So she's, basically like a star in her own right, a celebrity, some might say in these times. But in that time, she's just a really good author, which is crazy because she's writing a gossip paper, her society papers. But the queen loves it. And, if the queen loves it, you on board. Freaking, I think it's just a lot of difference between season 3 and season 4. I wish they could redo season 3 with subtle makeup and give Colin and Penelope that main character energy they deserve. I think, the chemistry between the two, I don't know. When you look at season 1 between Daphne and the Duke, and then Kate and Anthony, and now Benedict and Sophie, you see it. With Penelope and Colin, it was just like, I don't know. Especially since, like, for the fact that, like, seasons earlier, they would dress her like a little schoolgirl almost. It's just, like, not given. You know what I mean? But to each their own, I guess. But it just wasn't it for me. Um, Bridgeton does come back with part 2 at the end of February. So until then, I shall be rewatching those 4 episodes like my life depends on it. Um, and then we go from there. I'm definitely excited. Is it bad that I'm already excited for season 5? I want to see whose story is next. Like, oh, who could possibly be next? And a lot of theories right now on the internet is that they're going to do a time jump to really show the significant time for the upcoming stories. Whether that's Francesca, she needs time to grieve her husband, since supposedly her husband is supposed to pass away. And Michaela is supposed to be Michael, so we'll see how that goes. I love Bridgerton. I have nothing against gays, okay? I have nothing against the community. But if they make Francesca gay, I might actually lose it. And then for Heisnet and Gregory, obviously you need some more time for them, as they're probably like a good 2 seasons from debuting, actually. Or not really Gregory, but Heisnet is, I don't know if that's how you say her name. Her name is really cute and I always butcher it. Just like I don't know how to pronounce the flowers. I damn sure wasn't going to be able to pronounce her name since she's named after the flowers. And then Eloise, I really want to see Eloise's season. I've heard so much about it. I want to read the book so bad. They're a little expensive. And I'm an audiobook girl, so it makes it even more expensive because I'm not. Bro, I'm gonna reread the same line like 5 times. Like, I do not have time for that. So it's out of my hands. But I'm really excited for season 5, 6, 7, and all the stuff that they have coming up. And I think it would be so cute if they just threw in a special season. Well, no. There I go, divulging from the plot. I was literally going to say it would be so cute if they threw in a special season for Violet. But kind of like how they did Queen Charlotte, I think they should show Violet and Edmund's love story. Like, maybe later down the line, like, oh, like, this is how, something like that. Whether it comes after Francesca, since she'll lose her husband, or it'll come after Eloise, since she marries somebody who was married and lost a spouse. See how that plays out. And then I hope her and I can't remember his name at the moment. I hope they have a really good story continuing forward for them, even though it's Lady Danbury's brother. But we all know that in Queen Charlotte, Lady Danbury was kicking boots with Violet's daddy. So, and she wasn't mad. She was kind of just like, I accept you for who you are. We are good friends. I love you. I cherish you. Picture you. And, they kept it pushing. So, we'll see how the rest of the Bridgerton plot plays out over these next couple of years. But I'm really excited. And I feel like it was just, not too long ago we were at season 2 and everybody was in love. And now here we are at season 4. And I just feel like we're just getting more into it. The fact that Bridgerton premiered during COVID back in Bridgerton came out in 2021. And I remember watching Bridgerton and immediately falling in love with everything Bridgerton had to offer in season 1. And then the hype of it started growing, and it's like, I'm a day one. I love shows where I'm a day one watcher. Like, I watched it before the hype. I'm not watching it because of the hype or anything like that. And there's a lot of shows where I don't watch them for the hype. Like, I'll review it or watch it weeks, if not months after the fact, because it's like, maybe it wasn't given when it first came out, or maybe how they promoted it, they didn't promote it right, because I never came across it. I'm not saying I stay on my phone 25/8, but I'm on my phone a significant time to know what's out there. So when something doesn't quite catch my eye, it's because they fail to, not me. I'm the audience. Target me in the best way possible, because that sounds so weird. But yeah, I think I'm excited for Bridgerton. Before I end today's episode, Amazon Prime has so many good shows, guys. I love when I find out good shows on other streaming platforms that have been out for a minute. Because I was watching this show called Ballard on Prime, and it's one season, really good. I really hope they're coming out with a second season because the way the first season ended, they would be a not to girl, not to. And then so Ballard is kind of like a, I guess like a sequel, kind of off on its own because the original show is called Bosch, and Bosch, and I decided to start watching it earlier this week. I think either earlier this week or on the weekend, I decided to start watching it. I think it was the weekend I decided to start watching it because I need some like show to watch and to listen to when I'm crocheting, like to really get me in the mood. Like I could crochet in silence, but then that's given like, ma'am, are you okay? And all that's missing is the freaking padded walls and crazy other people strapped straight jackets around me and all that stuff. And who wants that? But Bosch is a really good show. It has 7 seasons. And each episode's like an hour long. I just finished season 1 literally yesterday. And so now I'm on season 2. And that means I just have 5 more seasons. Well, yeah. I'm on season 2. So I have 5 more seasons to get through. And then get this. There's a sequel after called Bosch Legacy. So after I finish these 7 seasons, whenever I get there, let's be real, it's probably not gonna take me that long. Unless something happens in the show that really like just like turns me off, where it's just like, ooh, I no longer want to watch this. It shall not be long. Like I feel like I should be at season 7 by the end of March. Calling it right now, end of March, because I watched the first season in like the span of 1 week, and I'm probably not gonna watch that much this upcoming weekend. So it's like maybe next week I finish season 2 and then season 3, and so forth, so forth, so forth. So like by the end of March, I do believe that I will have finished the original Bosch show, so then I could move on Bosch Legacy, and then hopefully by then they announce or it's already out for season 2 of Ballard, because I'm really excited to see how that goes. I don't have the best description on the show. Bosch is about an LAPD detective. He's quite harsh, old school, I guess. People like it for the authentic LA feel that it gives off and everything like that. I will say Ballard definitely mirrors Bosch a lot. The shows, not the characters. Definitely mirrors each other a lot when it comes to, I guess, that California feel. I've never been to Cali. And it's really quite, something. And then oh my god, where I lost it. Bosch is a really good show. The first season was quite, okay, that's wild. I think here's the thing about certain shows. I don't like certain shows that do full nudity, because when I see like some people's boobs, I'm just like, I wish, man. Like, oh my god. I wouldn't get a boob job, right? I said I wouldn't. I never said I'll never, because you never know. But I feel like I wouldn't get a boob job because I know one day I want to have kids. Kids are going to change your body. Why am I going to change my body if I'm, and all that stuff and rah, 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 rah. But it's like, it just sucks. Like, there's one show, this girl had like the perfect boobs, and I was just like, those are literally perfect. Like my perfect size boobs is a C cup. I am a B. Barely that B. That's what it stands for. That's what the B stands for. Barely. I would have like the perfect C cup. Like if I had a C cup, it's just cute. That's what the C stands for. It'll just be phenomenal. But I do not have that. But I hope one day I, do, I guess. But I don't plan on getting a boob job to achieve the desired chest I want so much for myself. I grew out of padded bras and all that stuff. Like, they were in my sports bra as a kid growing up, like my training bras and whatnot. But I kind of just give it up. When I wear outfits where, like, maybe some cleavage is needed, I I try to like get the girls up as best as I can. There's not a lot for me to shimmy up there, but damn it, I'm gonna try my hardest to really just, yeah, I got a chest. Like, especially like when I have like my gym outfits on and I'm just like, oh, the chest is chesting. When I like lose a couple of lbs, I'm obviously gonna lose a couple of them because some of it's just really just fat. Well, boobs is fat, but a good chunk of it is because of my weight. So it's like, oh yeah, when I get to like where I want to be, I'm probably like not gonna have this. So I need to like start working on my chest flies, like really shape my boobs as much as like, you know what I mean. So I can really like get it going. I feel like everything on the lower half of my body from my hips down is like, okay, you're good, you're fine. Like the butt keeps growing, and it's like that's cute. I need the waist to stop growing, get a little trimmer, and I need the chest to be like shoop. You know what I mean? But I guess one day at a time. But guys, this past week for shows was really good. My life not so much because I've been throwing everything out of schedule. I have not been following my calendar to a T, but I shall get back on that schedule. I unfortunately have to work this weekend, so we should see how that goes. And hopefully my weekend is still good enough and lovely enough that I'll see rainbows and sunshines in my dreams. Mind you, I do not dream. Anyways, season 4, I was about to say season 2. Season 4, part 2 of Bridgeton comes back at the end of February. I believe like February 26th, somewhere around there. I think it's another Thursday that it drops. And the Lincoln Lawyer, I believe the Lincoln Lawyer is out now, so we'll definitely be talking about that next week. You should definitely check out Bosch on Prime as well as Ballard. You don't need to watch Bosch to understand Ballard. Me, personally, I watched Ballard and I completely got it. I didn't need to watch Bosch, but the fact that like, oh, this is okay, I'm gonna watch this. That's how I felt about it. But as always, thank you guys so much for listening to the Review for Few podcast, which one and only Avi. I realized last week that I don't say my name when I do my introductions anymore, and it's like, we need to bring it back. So I'm bringing it back for this one episode. I'm going to sign off with it, but trust, next week and following on, I will be saying it in the beginning. So that way, it's just more whatever. My face looks so fat right now, and I think it's because I just, it's morning. My face hasn't really set in, I guess. Like I have a fake face. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and before I leave you guys, oh my God, the actress Catherine O'Hara had passed away this week, and it was so sad, or this past weekend. So sad, so tragic. I love her. I love Schitt's Creek, where she plays Moira Rose, and then she was in Home Alone, which I don't know why. For the longest, I did not know she was in Home Alone. I figured that out probably like a couple years ago, but like for the longest, I didn't realize that. But she was a phenomenal actress, and she will be so missed. And I love how every time somebody like of great significance, like in the acting community, passes away, you see the video coming up with like, "Don't take treacherous journeys," da 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 da, like that lady. So it's like so crazy, and it's just like, oh, that's so wild. She was at Sally in the Nightmare Before Christmas, and she played one of the little mangy little kids. But it's so sad. But I leave you guys with that one tidbit, and I shall see you guys next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, say hi. I'll say hello. How are you? Did you see what I saw last week? And we can go from there. I'm not gonna obviously have full conversations. I have friends, so you can just say hi, and I'll say hi. Or you can give me recommendations. I feel like one day when this podcast is actually like viewed for real, like recommendations, I would gladly take it. Anytime, any day, anywhere. You know what I mean? But right now, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much, and happy listening, y'all.